well, if I could go back to Yuri's point to begin with about hot air, I'll be a little more polite. I think probably what Yuri has said, hot air is the best term to use, but I'll be a little more polite. You know, obviously, I think when relationships between two countries are developing, and one or both parties are seeking to strengthen the developing the relations, they like to be seen to be making positive noises. And as Yuri was talking, I was immediately thinking about the takeover of Slavia Prague by CEFC Energy, which was about the kind of the strengthening relationship between Czech Republic and China, and there were lots of positive noises, and this is a good thing to do, and so what we very often do see is new investors targeting specific clubs because of their symbolism. And I think the symbolism of Beitar is really striking in all of this, because obviously an Abu Dhabi investor could have gone to any club in Israel and said, right, okay, we'll take that club, we'll buy that club in Tel Aviv or wherever it might be, but they had to pick that club. And so I think it was symbolism, but as Yuri said, it was probably also, there was a certain amount of hot air. Now, extending out of that, as you guys will know, in the Gulf region, is whilst there are private investors don't suddenly decide they're going to buy a football club in Israel with all of the political associations and potential ramifications of that without talking to the government first. And that's just the way it is. You've got to talk to the government, because if you unilaterally decide to buy a club and it's potentially contentious and you haven't discussed it with anyone, then you're going to be in trouble domestically. So that then leads you into, well, Abu Dhabi is obviously leading on this, and what we already know is that Abu Dhabi's investment vehicle of choice, or if you like, their route to market in different territories around the world, is a City Football Group. And what we know about City Football Group, grown very, very quickly, very carefully selected clubs in key target markets in China, in India. We've seen some this year during the pandemic, in France, in Belgium. That wasn't accidental. It wasn't ostentatious or kind of accidental. They were very carefully selected. So I think if we're then getting into Abu Dhabi City Football Group, thinking carefully about selection and strategy, what essentially the Beitar hot air is about, it's just a holding position until Abu Dhabi has really decided, do they really want to buy a club? Is that really going to be connected to City Football Group? And what I find, and this was the reason that I was tweeting, what I find really interesting about City Football Group is there's a football entertainment technology kind of thread to everything that they do and the cities that they locate in. And what I'm finding particularly interesting about Israel at the moment is Israel as a country the government seems to be positioning Israel as a kind of sports technology hub, so a hub of innovation. And if you ally that then to obviously digital social entertainment in the context of the normalization of relations, then what I can foresee is that if Abu Dhabi really is serious about building upon the normalization and strengthening relations with Washington, then it is entirely conceivable that we could potentially see a City Football Group franchise being established there.